What's going on, everyone? So, got the injury report for tomorrow, and LeBron James is questionable, as well as Maxi Kleba is out. He's the only guy. It is a beautiful sight to see. Lakers are healthy and getting healthy. See what happens with LeBron James. I'll touch on that here in a moment. But Luka is officially off minute restrictions according to JJ Redick. So he will be able to play as many minutes as he needs to against the Hornets. My guess is that means LeBron probably misses that game, and then Luka sits out the next game. So the Lakers have a back-to-back. They have a ton of back-to-backs coming up, by the way. But you got the Hornets and the Blazers. So my guess is Luka will play against the Hornets, and then LeBron will probably play against the Blazers. Who knows? Maybe LeBron plays against both. We'll see. Time will tell. Or maybe LeBron comes and he only plays limited minutes. But this is great with Luka. We'll touch on LeBron here again in a moment. But as far as Luka goes, this is a huge just move for the Lakers, right? Like, Luka can finally start to get into a rhythm, finally start to get his legs under him, start to build that chemistry and a familiarity with the rest of this team. Obviously, you know, he's the guy that we need and are very likely going to rely on very heavily going forward. LeBron James, he's going to work in and you know, he said himself, Luka and Reeves, those will be the two guys, and I'll figure out my end, which I do believe him, right? Luka's been a guy LeBron's been searching for years. Somebody that can be clearly the number one option, somebody that can take the pressure off of him being on ball and all that. Luka is everything LeBron has been asking for, looking for, needing, and we're going to find out, right? Obviously, it's one thing to say, it's another thing to actually do, right? But I do think LeBron will do that. And then getting for Luka, it might take him a couple games to kind of get his legs under him and get into the swing of things. One, you know, anybody that misses 6 weeks and comes back, right, probably got to take you a couple games to get your legs under you. And then you add in the fact that he's on an entirely new team, right? It's very different when you're just kind of going back to what you're familiar with, right? Like, where if he was on Dallas, probably wouldn't be as much of him needing to get his legs back under him because he knows what he needs to do, right? He knows what his role is. He knows what his job is, right? The team is built strictly around him, right? Where this Lakers team is a little odd at times, right? Like, you kind of look at the roster and it's like, you know, it's definitely missing some pieces. But I am excited to see Luka definitely start to build that chemistry with this team. Jackson Hayes also appears to be healthy and back, which was a big question a lot of people had. I even said after that game that Jackson Hayes, they probably sat him out for precautionary reasons, right? He's the last guy you need to lose right now. So that was kind of my guess, and it looks like he's back for this game as well. But LeBron James, I imagine that the Lakers are going to manage him as much as possible because, look, at the end of the day, if you don't have a healthy Luka and LeBron, you're probably not winning much, if any, right? Like, our best chance at winning a championship right now is a transcending LeBron and Luka, right? LeBron and Luka are so good. Those two alone can get you to a conference finals, right? But if those two guys aren't healthy, or if LeBron's on one leg or whatever, right, then you're probably not getting very far, right? Like, Lakers have a lot of holes on this roster that they need to address in the offseason. The way you kind of offset most of those holes is LeBron James and Luka just being undeniable, right? Being so great that teams just can't match it, right? And they have that ability. We've seen LeBron be able to tap into that reserve and get up there. And we're probably going to need him to do that pretty often, at least 4 times a round, right? Like 4 times a series. And if he can do that, then Lakers have a real legitimate shot. Him and Luka, right, those two guys can do a lot. But like I said, Lakers have a ton of back-to-backs coming up. I'll break those down more in tomorrow's video, or if you're already watching this on game day, then that video may already be up, or look forward to that one. I'm going to do a full kind of breakdown of the look-ahead schedule. But regardless, the Lakers, you know, you need LeBron. You need these two guys to be as healthy as possible. These are the two guys that give you the best shot, right? And I'm more confident in Luka and LeBron than I was personally with LeBron and Anthony Davis, right? I love Anthony Davis, and I always maintain that the Lakers had a puncher's chance. But you were so reliant on LeBron, particularly come playoff time, to basically be the best version possible for you just to have a chance to win. Where I could see with Luka, Luka is one of the greatest playoff performers ever. He's like second all time behind Michael Jordan as far as like averages go, right? Like the guy is just next level. He's a guy that he can win you a game or two by himself, right? So you can have a game or two in the playoffs where LeBron isn't quite where we need him to be and you can still win, where I don't know if you could do that with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis is a guy, and I've talked about this. I mean, the best version of Anthony Davis, best player in the world, but it's few and far between at times with him, right? Like there's games where he's, he'll go give you a 40-27 with, 3 blocks and 3 steals and just completely control and dominate a game. And you'll get 3 or 4 games where he's just kind of like average or pedestrian, or, he's really good, but it's not enough for what the Lakers need. Where Luka's a guy, I mean, he'd go out there and go give you 40, 10, and 10 on a nightly basis in a playoff series, right? Like, he's the guy that, I mean, can completely go and win you a series by himself. I mean, we've seen him take team, like that Dallas team a couple years ago with Jalen Brunson was, in my opinion, worse than this Lakers team now. And they went to the conference finals, right? And look, Jalen Brunson, obviously he became who he became, but at that time, he was not the Jalen Brunson he is on New York, right? And you look at like Luka, LeBron, Reeves, right? Rui. You got like, they have a squad. They're going to be the best offense in the league, if not top 3 at worst. It's just, can their defense be kind of middle of the road, middle of the pack? If they can, then Lakers are going to be very, very tough to beat. But overall, I'm excited. Luka being off minute restriction, I think is huge for the Lakers. I think that that's going to put the Lakers in just a very good position, going forward the rest of the season. He can start working his way into shape as best of his ability, start getting his legs under him, start kind of ramping up and preparing, getting ready to get ready for the playoffs, as well as, starting to build that chemistry with guys, starting to learn, where do guys like the basketball, right? I've always, talked about how it's easy to get like a role guy, like Dorian Finney-Smith plugs in, right? There was no real learning curve with him. Why? Because he's a role guy. It's like, hey, the thing you've done your entire career? Yeah, just do that here, right? Like the same thing. You don't have to change anything, right? It is hard to integrate a superstar in the middle of the season because they're used to being the guy. They're used to playing a specific way. They're used to playing and having kind of everything center around them. And then you add in a guy like Luka, who is your point guard, who is one of the most on-ball, high-usage players ever, even more so than LeBron in his prime, right? Like, that's going to take, more likely than not, a little bit of a curve. Maybe not. Maybe they figure it out and, they've gotten a couple practices in and stuff, so maybe they have a good idea. But, I also want people to be patient. If it does look a little sloppy early on, right? Just trust the process. It'll work itself out. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it either way, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.